folks. It's Heather here from Heatherfish Creations. I just wanted to take the time to kind of make a tutorial. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there are a lot of people, I would say that's probably safe to say everybody knows at least somebody that has been impacted by breast cancer. My mom just recently won her fight against breast cancer, and so I just kind of want to make this video on how to make dreadlock beads for breast cancer, because you know, everybody can go to the salon and they do the free pink hair extensions and all that kind of thing, but you know, it's kind of difficult to do that with dreadlocks. So I'm going to show you how to make a breast cancer awareness pendant for your dreadlocks that out of materials that you can get from Walmart or craft stores. The tools you'll need for this tutorial are pliers, wire, a taper of some sort, pendants, and a box if you wish to give these away as a present. Now, all of the pliers you see here can be found in any craft store, possibly in a hardware store, but I can't guarantee that you'll be able to find all of those types. The stick that I'm using there is just a chopstick. You can use several different things. You could use a pencil, a shrimp skewer, a marker, all based on how large you want to make your beads. All of the wire seen there can be found at Walmart. You can also find it at local craft stores. The box I get at, well, I actually order them in bulk online, but you can also find little boxes like that at the craft store. The little pendants are found at Walmart or craft stores like Michael's, Joann's, and then of course you will need a few silver jump rings. Okay, let's get started. Okay folks, so today we're going to be making this silver dreadlock pendant, and you're going to have to forgive my fingers and nails because that's from hours and hours and hours of wire weaving. They're just horrible. So anyway, basically you can make this design really easily with only one tool. Well, you need two tools because you got to be able to clip the wire. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with aluminum wire, and I'm going to get out, you know, a fairly good amount here. And we are going to take this tool. This tool is really easy to find. Walmart, Michael's, any of the craft stores has it. And what we're going to do is we're going to allow a little bit of space on the end, and then we're going to come in here and we're going to move the wire all the way to the back, and we're going to just make an indention like so. Okay, you don't want to press too hard because you don't want to go all the way through your wire. And we're going to do this all the way down, just making indentions all the way down the wire. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, though I personally like to try to make them at least evenly spaced. It's going to look good no matter what, but just make these all the way down until you feel like you have a fairly good amount. You can always add more later if you didn't do enough. So we've got a pretty good length here with these little things. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm sorry for the autofocus, is we're going to go in with the very end of the tool, the small part, and we are going to make tiny little indentions in between each of these that we already did. And you don't have to press very hard on these. These are just little accents in between. You do, however, want to make sure that they're all showing on the same side of the wire. You don't want to turn the wire sideways and do them sideways, or else you're not going to get the right look when you go to wrap your wire. So we're still making our little bitty indentions here in between. Okay, so now we've got a good length of wire done. I am going to use a chopstick for this. Now, this is a 7mm chopstick at the end. I prefer to use something that's a little bit tapered, because if you need to go in and do some wire wrapping detail, sometimes you need a little extra space. So it's a little bit easier to slip the bead down a little bit where it's kind of smaller so you could fit the wire in. But for this purpose, all we have to use is the 7mm top portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire, okay, and so that where we made the crimps, it faces front ways. I'm going to hold that with my thumb, and I'm going to pull tight and very carefully start wrapping, and I'm so sorry about the autofocus. My camera is just being, I think I might be too close. There we go. Okay, so we're just gonna very carefully start wrapping this wire around our taper here. You can even use a pencil. 7 millimeters is about the size of a number 2 pencil. That's about the standard size I make, so it'll work really well for this design. So we just keep wrapping and keep wrapping until we wrap all of our crimped portion on. And there's going to be a little gap here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add just a few more crimps to kind of finish it out. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that we've kind of got this look here going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clip off my extra wire here. Alright, sorry about the pause here. My poor cameraman was having some back problems due to the weird angle that he's standing. He's such a sport. Okay, so anyway, we have clipped off our extra wire here, and as you can see, all of our little crimps have kind of expanded, so they just add a really nifty little texture to the wire. Okay, so using the very same tool that we used to make the crimps, we can go ahead and we can curve the ends. Now this one's a little bit long, so I'm going to go ahead and clip it off a bit because we don't need that extra. So we just move the bead all the way up to the top, and we decide how we want the thing to be, and we go ahead and we curve it around just like so. You like to use this tool to just kind of make sure that the wire loop is even. And you have to be very careful doing, oh whoops, I kind of migrated. Just to press this kind of against the taper a little bit so that it lays evenly. Also, another thing about making these is you want to make sure that this thing is closed perfectly. That way you don't have to worry about it snagging in your dreads. It helps, you know, to make sure it's closed. So we're going to take the bead off and flip it around, and we're going to do the same thing on this end. So just kind of go exactly where you curved the other one and curve it around like so. And there's a little bit of a small space here, but that's easy. You just stretch it up a little bit. So now we have our base. Now this is so simple, but it doesn't look so like it. It's got a really nice little design on there, but anybody can do it, so that really helps. Now the only thing we have to do is get a jump ring right here, and we are going to put a pendant on. Now, one thing to make sure when you use these jump rings, you never want to open them this way. You always want to do this, because that way it doesn't weaken and it doesn't change the shape of the jump ring. It still works how it's supposed to. So always make sure you open one like that. I think for this particular pendant, we're going to use this this pretty one with the sparkly jewels in here. So we just put that on like so. Take this off, put it on, and use these here. And to close it, what we're going to do is we're just going to close it back, and then when you get it closed, honey, can you focus right there? Sorry guys. When you get it closed, you just want to wiggle it a little bit, because that helps get it tighter together, and it helps lock in the metal so that it stays stronger. And voila, here is a breast cancer awareness pendant. Now, you can get these little things, these little charms at Walmart or Michael's or any of the craft stores. Usually carry them, especially around this time of year. If you want, also, you can make another simple design. If any of you are curious to learn how to make anything else, there's lots of different things we could do with pink wire. You can do wire weaving. I'm just not super certain what everybody would like to see. If you would like to see me make something else, feel free to message me, because just like I said, I'm not quite sure what everybody wants to see. So, and do me a favor, if you know somebody with breast cancer, do something to help them out, you know, because it's a really trying time. It's really hard. They've just gone through a lot of emotional stress. do something nice for them. You know, make them a meal. Offer to help get groceries. You know, offer to watch the kids for a little while so they can rest. Donate to a breast cancer fund, a good one. You know, do your research. And just, you know, enjoy. Be supportive, and I hope that you enjoy making these beads. Just message me for any questions. Thank you. So I want to do a special thanks to my hubby here, who hung over me the whole time I was trying to make that. So he hung in there like a trooper, didn't you? Yeah.